Is it fair to blame a 13-year-old girl for ruining someone's life? What consequences can a lie have? Is one's remorse ever enough? And finally, how long can you bear a burden before it breaks you? Hi everyone, my name's El. I am a creator and here I talk about art, literature, music, and cinematography.
In 2007, an English film director, John Wright, released a movie called ATONEMENT, a screen adaptation of the novel written by Ian McEwan, a prominent British novelist and screenwriter. Among his early works, there are novels The Cement Garden and The Comfort of Strangers that brought the author his first claim to fame.
In the years that followed, he was awarded several prizes for his newer books, such as the Booker Prize and the Shakespeare Prize. But what makes ATONEMENT so outstanding? And why did the film, based on the book, win an Oscar? Today, we'll find out.
Since the film is really close to the book, almost completely depicting the story, I'm going to consider ATONEMENT one work of art in this video. Still, my original intention was to encourage you to watch the movie because of how beautiful it is and what a masterpiece you're missing if you haven't seen it. But don't worry, we'll talk about the differences too.
Attention, spoilers ahead. ATONEMENT touches upon the issues of guilt and long-term outcomes of deception. It is also saturated with psychological realism aesthetics, showing love, grief, embarrassment, loss, and remorse. And the fact that World War II is involved makes watching ATONEMENT a devastating experience of life's mercilessness and brutality.
The story is told through the voice of Bryony Tallis, a 13-year-old girl living in an old mansion in England in the 1930s. She comes from a wealthy family and is brought up in accordance with strict traditional rules of child rearing. And yet, her family is quite accepting of the girl's main hobby. Bryony is an immature writer.
Well, not yet. But while you were busy packing snacks to watch the film, she finished her first play.
As we follow Bryony through the walls and the yard of the mansion, we learn that there are staff working for the family. We also learn that Bryony has an older sister, Cecilia, and Cecilia has a crush on the butler's son, Robbie, who lives nearby with his mom and works for their father just like everyone else.
As soon as we see Robbie and Cecilia, we notice strange tension that is only going to build up. But let me be consistent. After a futile attempt to put on a play with her friend Lola and her twin brothers that arrived at the mansion a bit earlier, Bryony gets a chance to witness a scene that makes her really worried.
Through the window, she sees Cecilia and Robbie quarreling near a fountain, and to the girl, it looks like the guy is threatening her sister. Cecilia then strips down, takes a dive into a fountain, grabs something from its bottom, comes out of the fountain, snatches a broken vase out of Robbie's hands, and leaves.
And this is perhaps one of the most important scenes in the film. This is the point where we learn that the way Bryony sees the world is slightly different from reality. Because after the scene is over, we see the exact same thing once again. This time, to learn what actually happened between Robbie and Cecilia and what they were doing near the fountain.
We see them talking and exchanging opinions. We understand right away that the two are desperately in love with each other, but they aren't together, and due to their unequal status, they can never be. It's not even discussed. What is important though, is that as Robbie and Cecilia try to conceal their feelings, they get clumsy and break a vase.
You idiot. You realize It's probably the most valuable thing we own.
Not anymore, it isn't.
A small piece drowns and the girl dives in to get it, then goes away, leaving Robbie confused and embarrassed. And that's what Bryony saw through the window.
The girl has concerns. She does not understand what she saw, but it instills her with a feeling that there might be something off about Robbie, and that this all is pretty worrying. Bryony is a dreamer. She writes stories, impersonates characters, and seeks to embellish everything what she sees. That's what a creative mind is like. Believe me, I know. But Robbie intends to apologize and set things right with Cecilia.
He is invited to a special dinner party the family holds because of the arrival of Leon, Cecilia and Bryony's brother, and his friend Paul Marshall, the owner of a chocolate factory, played by
I'm sorry, Benedict Cumberbatch. A great actor, okay?
While Robbie is getting ready for the dinner, he decides to write Cecilia an apology. He's struggling while doing so because it implies confessing his true feelings for her. At some point, he even composes a funny letter in which he describes his sexual fantasy about Cecilia.
In a pretty explicit way, I must say.
He then writes a normal letter where he explains himself in a decent and polite manner, puts on some smart clothes and moves out.
On his way, Robbie comes across little Bryony, who's busy playing in the bushes. He calls her and hands her the letter and asks her to deliver it to Cecilia, claiming he'd feel like a fool giving it to her himself.
And only when Bryony leaves, Robbie suddenly realizes that he's made a terrible mistake and put his vulgar letter inside the envelope, whereas the formal apology remained on his desk.
Bryony!
Well, I guess you can say what happens next. We remember, of course, that Bryony is already suspicious of Robbie and is concerned for her older sister, so on her way home, she opens the letter and reads something that makes her heart sink. Bryony is a shy little girl with great imagination and vivid fantasies. She is scared. She is shocked.
Meanwhile, Paul Marshall talks to Lola, and we learn the background of her family. In this scene, we see that he is trying to act like a friend, lending a helping hand, while in fact the way he's looking at Lola and the things that he's saying to her are really worrying. But we'll get back to that a bit later.
In her room, Bryony is trying to understand what is going on. She tells Lola about the letter. The girls think that Robbie is a pervert, a maniac, and that he is planning to assault Cecilia. They decide not to intervene right away because they believe that Robbie is dangerous and insane.
Later on, we see Bryony following a subtle noise from the library. She then finds Robbie, who is actually raping Cecilia.
Or is he?
Right. This is where the film tricks you again into thinking that Bryony sees the actual reality. We go back in time and see that Robbie came to apologize for the letter and the incident at the fountain. We see the couple finally talk and confess their feelings. In this emotional unity, they passionately make love to each other despite all the stereotypes. And this is where Bryony finds them.
To the girl, it all looks like Robbie is a criminal and Cecilia is a victim.
If it weren't for Lola's little twin brother's runaway attempt, Bryony would probably initiate a terrible scandal.
Instead, family and friends split up in order to find the boys. Bryony detaches from the group. She wanders alone in the dark with only a dim flashlight in her hand. Then suddenly, she hears something going on in the bushes. Raising her flashlight, Bryony sees Lola with a man.
Lola says she didn't see the man's face and claims he approached from behind, but Bryony led by her ongoing obsession with the theory about Robbie being a maniac, supposes that it was Robbie who molested Lola. And this is the turning point.
Yes. I saw him. I saw him with my own eyes.
Yes, Bryony says it was Robbie who did this to Lola. She accuses him of a crime she didn't even see him commit.
The police need nothing else to arrest him and take him away. Several years pass. It's 1939.
And this is where things get really, really dark.
World War II. A terrible, catastrophic period that took countless lives. In order to bolster its forces, Britain releases prisoners and sends them to fight in the war. Many countries did that. Robbie is released too. He is terrified, yet he understands this is the only way he can get freedom. The freedom that was taken away from him by mistake. He meets up with Cecilia and we learn that the two have been in touch all these years. The girl left her family house after the incident and she is the only one who believes Robbie is innocent. She doesn't talk to them anymore. She lives poorly, but she doesn't mind it as long as she can be with her loved one. Cecilia tells Robbie about a cottage near the sea where they would live together, free of embarrassment and resentment. They hold hands. They pray to meet again. "Come back to me," the girl says.
Look at me. Look at me. Come back. Come back to me.
As the story unfolds, Robbie witnesses all the horrors of the war firsthand. And this is not just death. It is hunger, cold, pain, and infections. It is dirt and constant anxiety. It is blood, sweat, and tears. Crippled people, corpses of the innocent scattered around. The only thing that keeps Robbie going is Cecilia. Her love letters, their hopes, and their dreams. Robbie is hurt. He is sick, hungry, and dehydrated. As the British army withdraws, he and his fellow servicemen are trying to get to Dunkirk to evacuate. But what they see makes them realize that it's not gonna be easy. Okay, so we are about to discuss one of the best scenes in the world of cinematography. This whole scene is one long shot. It lasts for 5 minutes, and it's definitely worth watching. I beg of you, go and see it. While working on this scene, the director had to find hundreds of uniforms for the soldiers and make them look all dirty and ripped. You can also imagine how much makeup and side design it all took. Fabulous job. Well done, Joe Wright. I will tell more about this scene on my Telegram channel, which, by the way, you can follow. Please do that. Pretty please. I've left a link in the description. Anyway, Robbie has a bad fever. His friend says they have to survive the night to get on the ship, but the guy is feeling too unwell. He's raving and seeing things. He screams in his sleep, and when the friend wakes him up, he promises that he won't say another word. And when Robbie closes his eyes, we travel back in time a little bit to a war hospital back in Britain. There, in the hospital, we see Bryony Tallis. She's 18 now. She works as a nurse, taking care of wounded soldiers, washing linen and cleaning the floor. She still writes her stories on a typewriter. We see her working on a draft called Two Figures by the Fountain and realize that this is a reference to the scene she saw as a child. She also tries to reach out to her sister, writing letters to her every now and then. Bryony says that she's sorry and that she finally understands what a terrible thing she did to Robbie and her. Her sister, however, is silent. Bryony writes that working in a hospital feels like her way of punishing herself for her sins. She works and works, but nothing helps her escape from what she caused and what it meant. A slanderer. This is a burden far too heavy to bear. And even though she's not in the front line, she still sees all the horrors and harsh reality of the war. It comes to a head when a French soldier literally dies on her hands. But what breaks you as a viewer is the following scene. Bryony visits a wedding ceremony at a local church. Who's getting married? Lola, her childhood friend, the one who got raped. Who is she getting married to? Paul Marshall. And this is the moment of truth, literally. Bryony realizes that she actually saw the man who was with Lola that night, and it was him. When Bryony looks at the happily married, Lola quickly looks away. Bryony finds her sister's new address and pays her a visit. There, she suddenly encounters both Cecilia and Robbie, who managed to come home alive. And this is perhaps the most emotional scene of the entire film. You should probably watch it yourself.
All your family, you just assumed that for all my education, I was still little better than a servant, still not to be trusted. Thanks to you, they were able to close ranks and throw me to the wall!
Look at me! Look at me! Look at me! Look at me! Come back. Come back. Come back to me. I'm very, very sorry for the terrible distress that I've caused. I'm very, very sorry.
Bryony tries to explain herself and apologize, but her apology isn't accepted for pretty obvious reasons. Instead, Robbie and Cecilia ask her to go to the court and change her evidence to get Robbie his good name back. She swears to do her best and leaves them distraught and embarrassed. We then see her on the train going back to the city. But suddenly,
something happens. Something strange. You definitely don't expect that.
We see an older Bryony Tallis. She's a famous, successful best-selling author in her 70s. And she's given an interview in which it becomes clear that all these events, everything that we've seen, was an autobiographical novel written by her.
A novel called ATONEMENT.
Bryony then reveals that she's been diagnosed with dementia and that this novel is her final, yet somehow it is also her first, because she did several drafts back in the hospital during the war, and we saw that earlier. She goes on to say that the book is almost entirely truthful and autobiographical, and she didn't change any names, not even hers.
But the look on her face is strange. She ponders for a moment, and then continues to say that While working on the book, she realized that being entirely truthful would not benefit anyone, because the actual truth was far too gruesome. Because in fact, Robbie and Cecilia could never be together.
Because in fact, I was too much of a coward to go and see my sister in June 1940. I never made that journey to Balham. So the scene in which I confessed to them is imagined, invented. And in fact could never have happened. Because Robbie Turner died of septicemia at Bray Dunes on June 1st, 1940, the last day of the evacuation.
Cheerio, pal.
And I was never able to put things right with my sister Cecilia, because she was killed on the 15th of October, 1940, by the bomb that destroyed the gas and water mains above Balham Tube Station.
Yes, we were lied to. The truth was polished and embellished, but there was a particular reason why Bryony did that to her heroes.
This is how the novel gets its name. By writing it, Bryony hopes to atone for her crime and wishes to give Robbie and Cecilia what she deprived them of. Because she can do it, and because she must. The movie ends with a particularly beautiful scene of Robbie and Cecilia happily roaming about the beach and entering the house that they dreamt of.
And that's it. Just like any powerful work of art, the film asks you a lot of difficult questions, taking you on an emotional journey and showing life's difficulties through ambiguous characters' decisions and choices. It provokes thoughts and doubts. It makes you question your beliefs and ponder over your values. And just like any other powerful work of art, it doesn't really give you many answers. It leaves you a lot of space to think, analyze, and debate. Once again, is Bryony actually guilty? Can we even label a person good or bad, or are we a little bit more complicated than that? Who are we to make such choices? And finally, what is better, a sweet, perfect lie, or the bitter truth? The last question is extremely significant for understanding art in general. To me, art is often about escaping reality because, frankly, reality sucks. And I'm going to repeat that a lot on this channel. Yep. What I mean is that I understand Bryony. I usually don't judge people who try to stave off their grief. And even though Bryony says she doesn't think of it as evasion, we need to realize that, in a way, it is. But there's nothing wrong with that, really. As for the book, I know I promised to talk about it later. The ending in the book is slightly different. She still writes the novel, but instead of publishing it and giving an interview, Bryony has a birthday party where she reveals the shocking truth to everyone present. She goes on to say that she can't publish the book right away because Lola is still alive and that would cause problems. She also says that in her version of reality, where Robbie and Cecilia are alive, they could even attend her party. So, should you still watch the movie even after I told you everything about it? Yes, absolutely.
Because the movie is fucking beautiful. I'm being serious. The camera work, the effects, the angles, the close-ups, everything. A completely unforgettable, cathartic experience. Every shot is a masterpiece. The movie has its own language, and it never stops talking to you, telling its story with visual means as well. For example, some of the scenes are sort of a bit hazy, which clearly hints at them being Bryony's memories or fantasies. You are inside the book, physically, while also watching a movie. Pretty impressive, huh? Even insane. You should also listen to the soundtrack of this film.
The composer is a genius.
Since the story circles around the writer, you can hear a typewriter every now and then, and that is just awesome work. Seriously. You can say the same thing about acting here. James McAvoy, Keira Knightley, Saoirse Ronan, Romola Garai, Vanessa Redgrave, they all did an amazing job. Atonement isn't just great, it's phenomenal. It touches your heart and leaves a permanent scar in it. It alters your perception and makes you grow as a human being. A must-see. No kidding.
That was it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and make sure to leave a comment or two. I'm really looking forward to hearing from you. I was working really hard on this video, so I'd love to see you discussing the film in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel. There's going to be a lot more interesting stuff on art here. As you're watching this, I'm probably already making another video. Don't forget to subscribe to my Telegram channel as well to see cat pics and read some of my works. I am always glad to create something for you. Thanks again, y'all. Love art and keep an open mind. Bye! Attention, spoilers ahead. Fuck this makeup. Ow. Ow. This shit again.
Fuck this scene. I hate this line that I write. Oh my god. Oh shit. Damn it. What my makeup. Timosha, you're a sweet cat. Please let me record the video, please. Meow, meow. Oh shit. That was recorded, wasn't it? Okay.
Ouch. Ouch. Fuck. Can I even say goodbye properly? Fuck. I cannot remember this phrase. Fucking lie. I wrote this goddamn script. I can't. Oh, damn. Oh, shit.